respectful but extremely interesting and challenging conversation about religious diversity in Canada, but also in other places and other towns as well. One of the most exciting ways that we do that is through our service learning program, which places advanced undergraduates in community placement throughout the GTA where issues of religious diversity come up. So some have gone to Jewish community gardens, some have gone to law offices, some have gone to city halls, some have gone to various places. So if any of you actually work in or work for or know of community organizations that would like to host really smart, really interesting, really engaged undergraduates for a term, just let us know. Most excitingly, we have a new project that we're launching together with the Multi-Faith Center and the Center for Community Partnerships here at University of Toronto that is focused on religious diversity and youth leadership in the GTA, and that's a project funded by Citizenship and Immigration Canada, and we're just getting that off the ground, which is pretty exciting. This is actually our first public program in that, under that rubric, and we're delighted that the Ontario Human Rights Commission wanted to partner with us for an extended conversation about issues of religious diversity, creed, human rights in the Ontario context. Because we like to think locally, and we like to think globally, and we hope that other people will act in both contexts as well. I want to thank the OHRC for a lot of work they've done to put together today's program, today's lecture, the program over the next 3 days. And also let you know that there will be another public event on Friday afternoon, again in the Multi-Faith Center, that is, religious rights and religious rights and religious wrongs. Sounds good to me. And it's going to focus on, it's going to be presentations by two eminent Canadian scholars who focus on the question of religion and law, Richard Moon and Ian Benson. So I welcome you to come to that event as well, which starts at 1:30 on Friday afternoon. And now, I just also want to say that we're very happy to welcome the two speakers today. Commissioner Hall will give a longer introduction of the two speakers, but I just wanted to say personally that the work of Professor Winnifred Sullivan and the work of Professor David Seljak has long been of great interest to me. They are two eminent scholars in their field, and their work I've long respected their work, and I've learned a lot from it. So I'm happy that they're here with us tonight, as I am very happy that you are all here with us tonight as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Pamela. Good evening. I'm Barbara Hall, the Chief Commissioner of the Ontario Human Rights Commission, and I'm, like Pamela, delighted to welcome all of you here today. There was a piece of paper floating around about this event that suggested it was about getting rid of Good Friday as a statutory holiday. And we got a number of really angry calls at the Commission saying, how dare you? And we're not quite sure where the idea came from. It certainly didn't come from us. We'd never talked about it. Nobody had ever raised it. And I guess you could say we're more about expanding rights than we are about diminishing them or getting rid of them. So if you're here with your banner saying, bring back Good Friday, you can stow them under the seat, because that's not where we're going or what we're going to be talking about this evening. We're really pleased at the Human Rights Commission to be here tonight in partners with the University of Toronto. They're especially the Religion in the Public Sphere Initiative, the Multi-Faith Center, and the Faculty of Law. As we address systemic issues, we know you need partnerships, and this is one that we're very excited about. And I will in a minute tell you more about the two speakers from whom we'll hear this evening, who are going to talk about religious intolerance in Canada, multicultural Canada, and how some of these issues have come up, arisen, and been responded to in the United States. Tonight is the very first event as we at the Commission move to update our policy on creed and the accommodation of religious practices. That process of updating will likely take a couple of years. It will involve many sessions, many dialogues, consultation with faith leaders, with diverse community members, with academics, with human rights lawyers, and with practitioners. Tonight there'll be an opportunity for you to ask questions of the speakers, and we will both be producing papers and putting them on our website on a regular basis to hear from you as the issues are highlighted. I think it's fair to say in the last few years since I've been at the Commission, on occasion people say to me, you know, religion has never been an issue in Canada until this group or that group, those people came and started raising it. Well, I say to them then, and I say tonight, that in the 50 years that there has been a Human Rights Commission, last year was our 50th anniversary, and this year is the 50th anniversary of the passing of the Ontario Human Rights Commission, creed has been an issue. This was brought very clearly to me last summer when I was having a conversation with a neighbor who was someone I'd gone to junior high in Halifax with a lot of years ago. It was a really hot, muggy Toronto day, and I said I was going swimming at my neighborhood pool later in the day, and she said she didn't swim. I couldn't believe that. I said, Beth, what do you mean you don't swim? We used to go to the WAG, the name of a recreation club in Halifax, every day in the summer. And that's where we took swimming lessons and learned to swim and played and generally hung out. She said, you forget. What do you mean I forget? She said, there were no Jews permitted at the WAG in the late 50s in Ontario. Creed has always been an issue, and it was discrimination against various groups, particularly the Jewish community, together with racism directed at the black community, that formed a lot of the activism that ultimately resulted in the Human Rights Code being passed. And over the years, there have been many, many cases involving creed. In those early days, they were often related to anti-Semitism or various discrimination experienced by the Jewish community. They were cases brought by Jehovah's Witnesses, Seventh-day Adventists. Over the years, many Christian faiths, and as the diversity of our country grew, the faiths which experienced discrimination or intolerance and sought accommodation changed and grew. But it's always been there, and as we know, it's still here today. And the world is changing, And our society is changing. And there are faiths that are here experienced by Canadians in greater numbers than were years ago. We know that the world is also a very different place. And the policy that we're moving to update in this process has been impacted by things happening over the last few years. I think about the impact of the bombing of the World Trade Center, for example, and the change in the number of cases that came to the Commission related to that, and discrimination and barriers and stereotypes flowing from that. So we've had changing times and changing questions, and the answers to those questions and the decisions of courts and tribunals and the manner in which issues came up in the 15 years since we last put out a policy need to be looked at today and updated. And we regularly get questions from people, and you pick up